Got it. We'll wait for a minute or two.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Well, I am ready. In fact, I'm waiting for the past 10 minutes. Morning, friend. Today we will focus on a topic which is very important. As a manager, you need to have the power of motivation. Let's start. The power of motivation. If you understand what motivates people, you have at your command the most powerful tool for dealing with them to get them achieve extraordinary results. Motivation and power, they are so closely linked. One can say there is power in a motivated person. The art of motivation is one of the success secrets. Why motivation? One thing I believe that we are successful people. We need to move from success to success. We need to be successful, and if we have to be successful, we need to perform. We need to perform as an individuals. We need to perform by multiplying ourselves, that is, with the help of teams. Many times we are under the impression that we can motivate people, but what I believe, we are the people who facilitate our people or people who are around us to make that choice. So, what I believe, this is personal conviction that I'm not the one who to motivate, but the thing is, I'm here to create enabling environment so that people they come forward to motivate themselves. This statement may look uh, with a lot of contradiction or opposition, but one has to think. If I'm wrong, I agree I'm wrong, but uh, still you need to think. If I can motivate X, I can motivate Y, Z, Z, all people. But why only one person I'm able to motivate means there is something the other person has to do it. So the decision is or lies with the people also. There is something called free will. I think we were studying in organization behavior between, I think, action and reaction, or I'll try to put it, there's something called you and you take the decision. Then there are other things I try to put before you. Life is a bed of roses. I mean, that means there'll be thorns behind every rose. So you have, everybody has got certain problems. Therefore, um, you need to motivate yourself constantly. You need to work with people. You need to work with opposite gender. You need to, I think, again, this statement may look contradictory. People, they may say, people, they are people. Then why should you talk about working with opposite gender? See, you can discuss over this matter. Uh, I can be wrong with some of the statements. If I'm wrong, please forgive me. We need to work with different generations. Uh, the motivation level is different when you work with young people, when you work with people who are older to you. Then you need to work with diverse cultures or managing diversity it requires. You need to work with high performers, slow learners, sometimes people who are considered to be blacks. See, all under all these circumstances, you need to work some of these things. They may look something different. uh, They may be wrong also. Uh, if you discuss with me, if we can say, sir, you are wrong in this matter, I'll be happy. Then we have to work with different kinds of people. Of this is again different lecture on. Now, the stages in motivation. See, initially when we join in service, we are effective, we do not know, but we are highly motivated, we want to do something. Motivated, but we are ineffective. But from there, we move to a stage where we are motivated and also effective. We are able to do it, we are highly motivated. As you progress in your career, uh, it's in a hypothetical situation. It may be wrong in many people's case also, but I don't think I'm talking just like that. I referred some books based on that. We are putting these ideas, and you may contradict with these ideas also because of the freedom we have. We over after some time we are effective, but we are demotivated. But as you progress, We are demotivated and ineffective also. The people, they pass through the stages. Now, my question is, how do you keep your people motivated and effective throughout? How do you keep your people motivated and effective throughout? That's the big question. Now, I'm giving you performance dimension. Let me tell you, the real lecture starts from this slide. The previous slides I have shown you, they are introductory. A lot of contradictory statements will be there. Some of the statements you may not accept, but I think I have jotted down based on my discussions with other people. Now, these are the performance dimensions. If you have to be successful, I told you, you need to perform. Perform or perish. Unless you perform, you can't survive. If you have to perform, what is required is you need to have basic abilities to perform. I will discuss these things also. Then from there, it's not enough that you have abilities, but one more thing is you need to get opportunities. See, you might be having the ability to perform in the absence of not getting opportunities, it's not possible for you to perform. But the most important thing is to perform in spite of having ability and opportunities. You need to be motivated. Then only you can take all these things. So to perform, what is required is a fire in your belly and ability to perform. And the third thing is you need to get an opportunity to perform. When all these things they come together, then what happens? Um, you will be able to perform. Okay. Now we will see the other things also. Now I've been talking about motivation, but what is motive? Motive could be any idea. Motive could be any need. Motive could be any emotion, any idea, any need, or an emotion that prompts me and you, or you and me, into action. I call it as motive. Suddenly, some idea strikes, you feel like working. There is a need. Of course, I'll be discussing about those things. Then we have an emotion, a sense of deprivation that makes us to go in a particular direction. When I am using these words, I'm sure you are reminded of so many things. What made you to work? And that is what we call it as motivation. Then we get into this motivation. Factors that affect motivation. Instincts, we are born with certain inbuilt patterns of behavior. Depending on our inner urges and tendency, we feel like we get motivated. There are certain driving forces, biological needs, which push us forcibly to behave to fulfill these urges. We call it as motivation. Then there are certain things which arouse. Okay, maybe 1:30 or 1 o'clock. When somebody is preparing some eatables, I think the smell that arouses you that make you to work. Then expected outcome. Then those things they make us to work. Now, we have seen what is motivation, motive. Then we have seen what are the things that trigger our motives. Then we are discussing what is the simple meaning of motivation. Here I'm starting the definition with this word that. That means that could be an idea, that could be an emotion, that could be a need. What is that? I do not know. For me, something could be idea, for others, it could be a need, for some, it could be emotion. That which causes, channels, and sustains people's behavior, we call it as motivation. Fred Luton, what he says, it is the process. Entire motivation, it is a process. It starts with a physiological or a psychological deficiency or need. There's a psychological deficiency, maybe some kind of emotions. Then there's a physiological deficiency, something which is relating to our body. And these things, they activate our behavior, or they trigger our drive that is aimed at a goal, that is need, whatever need that we have, whatever idea that we want to achieve, okay, that is aimed at fulfilling that goal or incentive. Okay. Now then, Robbins talks about something important. Motivation, again, he says it's the process that account for an individual's intensity, how hard a person tries, an individual's direction, in which direction that person is going, it is beneficial, how long he persists to achieve that goal. When these three things are there, then we say there is motivation. Motivation is the process that account for an individual's intensity, that account for an individual's direction, and also the persistence of effort toward attaining a goal. Okay, these are the three things: intensity, direction, and persistence. Intensity. There was a person who was telling that I am the greatest long before I believed it. There are, I think, about one box of people, they say, first he has one in his mind, then he has one that match in the ring. So, you know about him. The second one, direction. See, some people, they do not have direction, but some people, they have direction. Persistence. Many people, they consider some people, they're very genius. But what those genius, they tell like this, I'm not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer. See, you need to stay, you need to work, you need to spend hours together. That makes you, when you are persistent, that helps you. So when these three, they come together, you call that entire process as motivation. Now, just for a moment, we will see just now we have discussed why motivation, what is motive, what is motivation. I'm going to show two models. One is need, motivation, satisfaction model. First one, you have a need, and when you have that need, a little tension starts. You can think that need as you're hungry or you're thirsty. And when you are hungry or when you're thirsty, a little tension start, you start searching here and there. You go to a particular place and you get water and you take that water, you're satisfied. That means you are rewarded and your need is satisfied. And again, when you are thirsty, you will repeat the cycle. It could be about, I can tell you, water. And some of you must be, I'm going to give some examples. Mr. Vamshi and Kalyan, I think you people know Blue Sea and Alpha Hotel.
Yes, sir.
Yes. You know, people normally who go that side, they go to those places and they'll have a cup of tea. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
The need is they felt like having tea. Somebody said that's a good place to have a cup of tea. So they had, and that became a habit, that need. And people, when they are going that side, you go to that place, have a cup of tea, and come back. This is a model. There is another model. Sometimes you might be wondering why some people they behave in a peculiar way. They behave in a peculiar way. I think when you join in some organizations, at a young age you become manager, and there are people who are older to you. They'll be always saying something negative about you. I do not know whether you have faced this kind of situation or not. I'm going to explain why people they behave, what's making them to behave. Now, you have a deprivation, you have a need, you have a deprivation. When you're deprived, you are going in a particular direction to satisfy that. And suddenly it so happens when you are about to satisfy that need, something has come that has become a barrier. What that did was that made you not to consume or not to do. And this model we call it as need frustration model, I call it. Need, drive, barrier, goal, and this barrier, you are about to satisfy it, suddenly something has come, and that barrier is called, because of that barrier, people they start behaving in different ways. Just imagine. Somebody told in your office, if you work hard, uh, if your performance appraisals are very good, maybe you are going to get a promotion. So you have worked like anything day and night, and performance appraisals were there, everything was good. You're about to get promotion. When you are about to get promotion, suddenly somebody came, something has happened. He deprived you from getting the promotion and he took the promotion away. Such things they do happen. When such things happen, people they start behaving in different ways. My question is, you need to understand, and my question is, how are you going to manage them? Here the thing is how people you have to understand why people they behave in that way. And this entire thing we call it as defense mechanism. I think a lot of things you can um, read on defense mechanism, but from the point of view of our lesson, this much is enough. Now, people they start behaving in different ways. I told you there are three. These are the different ways people they can behave. They'll be aggressive. They want to display the source or object. They develop a passive resistance negativism. They start behaving in an immature way, fixation, non-adjustive reaction. So the first way people they may behave with you in an aggressive way. It's a defense way. When people they behave in that way, you need to understand um, that it's a defense mechanism. Then the second thing is they try to withdraw. They want to regress. They want to repress their feelings. They want to get into some fantasy world or they want to leave the organization. This is a second situation. And the third way people they behave when they are deprived from getting what they are supposed to get, identification. For example, in your organization, there could be many people who are not or who did not get promotion, but they are very great, good, and you try to identify yourself with those people. You want to project yourself into something. You want to rationalize your behavior. Then any other kind of reaction that you may take it up. So when people are unable to get what they are supposed to get, the kind of behavior that they exhibit, we consider it a defense mechanism. The defense mechanism is exhibited in these ways. Now, when people they exhibit this kind of behavior, you need to understand that the defense mechanism and that defense mechanism is making them to behave in that way, and you should know how to deal with them. Of course, we talk about self-motivation. It's very easy to motivate others, but very difficult to motivate ourselves. You agree with me? It's very difficult to motivate ourselves, very easy to motivate others. How many of you agree with me? Giving the injection is something different. And oh, thank you, Dr. Franklin. Giving injection to others, it is different. And self-injection, oh God, it's different. Now, I'm going to talk about positive and negative motivation. You're seeing a picture. This picture talks about a stick and a carrot. Carrot talks about the incentive that you are going to give to people if they perform well. That is called a positive motivation. A negative motivation is you are going to use this stick when they don't perform. That is called a negative motivation. But I have done something, you see. In some organizations, what they do, they try carrot like this to a stick, and this is the stick, and this stick they hang to the neck of the employee. When this is hang to the neck of the employee, I'm talking in a funny way. When it is hang to the neck of employee, always the employee will be saying the incentives that he's going to get, but he will never get. They try to use this one in that way. But the simple meaning of character and positive motivation is if you perform, you are given various incentives. On the other hand, if you don't perform, stick will be used. Now, today we are going to talk about the major aspects of motivation and why I need to talk about these things. First thing, I need to understand why people they are behaving, what is making them to behave in that way. Then the second thing is I need to create an enabling environment so that people they themselves get motivated with that intention. We have to study these things. And to study, and anyone talking or want to say something? Okay, no problem. To understand these things, there are some theories. These theories we try to put into these three categories. Based on that, we are trying to understand. The first, all the theories we try to put into these categories, we call them as content theories. Then we call them as process theories. Content theories, we talk about Maslow's theory, ERT theory, need achievement theory, and two-factor theory. And process theory talks about expectancy theory. Then other things, goal reinforcement also we'll try to discuss. Now, need-based perspective theories. Need-based perspective theories, they state that people, they are motivated by the needs. These needs, they make people to work. Our needs are categorized into a physiological need or psychological need. It is something called some kind of deficiency that you are finding. That deficiency is arousing your behavior. The deficiency is making you to behave in a different way. Now, the first theory, as I told you, it's called Maslow's theory. Let me tell you, there are many writers who say Maslow propounded these theories based on some of the theories that are there in our Sanatan Dharma and all these things. Okay. But from the exam point of view, we are having this one, not that one. That's the only thing. Even, see, let me tell you, whether you get something from Sanatan Dharma, you have to accept. If you get something from good from any source, good from east or west, if you get something good, we need to accept. So people say these things are based on our Sanatan Dharma. Let's accept that one also. From the examination point of view, we are having this one left. Therefore, we will talk about these things. When they include those things, we will teach that also. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You have got a physiological need, safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, and self-realization. These are the needs, and this theory talks about we pass from, this is called lower order needs to higher order needs. That's one thing. Second thing is physiological needs. Once they are satisfied, according to Maslow, physiological needs, that is needs which are relating to your body, once they are satisfied, according to him, that I'm using the word according to him, that will not again motivate you. A satisfied need is not a motivator. That is what it flows from lower order needs to higher order needs. We'll discuss. First one, we talk about physiological needs. How we apply physiological needs, they are the needs which are relating to our body. How do we apply? We apply these physiological needs in terms of making available basic pay, then water, ventilation, all these things, they do matter in our workplace because they help us to satisfy our physiological needs. Then he talks about the next level, he talks about is safety needs. Once your physiological needs are satisfied, hunger is satisfied, or I tell you for that matter, the physiological need that you need is the first physiological need that you need is, you have to correct me, air. You agree with me? But the first need, air, air to breathe. The second, all of us have understood the importance of air during COVID season. You agree with me?
Yes.
Yes, we have understood how important it is. You are able to breathe. You are able to breathe. If you don't get sufficient air, I think you get into problem. Then the second thing that we talk about water. Then you talk about food. Then you talk about other needs. So these things should be made available at your workplace. The second thing we talk about is safety. I need a place. I need a place to live peacefully. Likewise, in the organization, how can we make these things applicable? I need to provide them safe working conditions. I need to provide them job security. I need to provide them health. I need to provide them retirement benefits. Hey, these things we want. From there, let us understand we are not working just to get our food. We are working because of so many reasons. There are people, they have a lot of money, still they work. There were days people used to quote this saying. The saying was, Udyogam Purusha Lakshanam. We used to tell. Now that applies even to females. They are also working. Don't say this applies only to men. Even women, they are working. They are on par with men. There are several. I think yesterday also I have seen um, there are many women behind Chandrayaan 3. Great women, how they managed, how they participated. They have done wonders. They have done wonders. So you can't say a job meant only for men, even women, they are there. So when you go to one, do you think you are going there just to get your food? No, it's not like that. There's something called belongingness. That is what you want. Um, how many of you are enjoying work from home, being in isolation? Do you enjoy working in isolation? Some kind of outlet you want to make relations, to maintain your relationship with your colleagues and friends. There's something called belongingness. So offer interaction with others, that's very important. Make them to work in a group. Help them to maintain good relations with supervisors. All these things, they do matter. Then we talk about esteem needs. And esteem needs talk about, you go there, you are working places because you want to be recognized. You need recognition. Job title is very important. Again, I'm talking. Job title also makes a lot of difference. It's important. Offer recognition. Give them status. Challenge them. Give them merit pay. Employee participation in decision making. Try to give them. That will meet their esteem needs. Then there are people, they realize the purpose of their life. They don't look at their wristwatch. And day and night they'll be working, and because they want to have a sense of satisfaction, sense of achievement, and all these things. For this purpose, what this organization can do, they can offer training, they can give them challenging tasks, creativity, promotions, help employees to control over their jobs. So this is how you can make use of Maslow's hierarchy of need, um, in order to see that people, they get motivated. Then this another writer by name Frederick Hesberg. He talks about two-factor theory. Try to understand again, recollect. Maslow says needs will motivate. Needs are five. From lower order needs, you are moving towards higher order needs. A need, once it is satisfied, it will not make you to work. That is what he's trying to convey. But we are moving to second theory, it is two-factor theory, given by Frederick Hesberg. Uh, he has done a research work, and he asked people when they were happy, when they were not happy, like that. It talks about, I'll discuss two-factor theory. Intrinsic factors are related to job satisfaction, while extrinsic factors are associated with dissatisfaction. Now, traditionally, what we were considering, satisfaction opposite dissatisfaction. But Hesberg has developed a tool, started saying satisfaction, no satisfaction, and no dissatisfaction, dissatisfaction. This kind of tool he developed. He asked people when they were satisfied, when they were not satisfied, based on the propounded this theory. Now, people started saying they are satisfied when they had security, when they had growth, when they had advancement, when they had responsibility, when work itself recognition, achievement. And what they said, these people were not dissatisfied when security, status, relationship, personal life, relationship with peers, salary, all these things were present, or I'll try to put it. What Maslow was telling, every need will make you to work. But what Hesberg did was, he called these factors satisfiers as, these factors as motivators. Okay. These are called job content factors. These are called motivators. And he called these factors as just satisfiers. These are called job context factors. According to Hesberg, the presence of satisfiers, the presence of job context factors will not motivate you, but they will only pacify you. But in order to make people to work, in order to make people to motivate, the organization needs to provide job content factors or motivators. If these things are present, people, they are motivated. If these things are present, they are pacified, but they are not motivated. But remember, the most important thing is when these things are not presented. That means job context factors, when they are not presented, people, they agitate and they will not do the work. And I'll put it, the presence of, and he used the word job hygienic factors. These are called hygienic factors. These are called motivators. I'll put it, the presence of hygienic factors will not motivate you, but the absence of hygiene factors will agitate you. In other words, when they are not there, people, they agitate. But when they are there, there is no guarantee they will work. And in order to make them to work, what you need to provide them is motivators. So he called them as motivators and hygiene factors. So this is the two-factor theory, hygienic factors, motivators. Now, these are the things, hygiene factors you have to provide in order to pacify people, whereas you need to provide motivators in order to make them to work. So this is the theory. And he called, he did not consider every need as a motivator. He considered, you've classified all those things in two categories, hygiene and motivators. Motivators are different, hygiene factors are different. Now, if you compare these two, these are called lower order needs up to a certain level of this one, you call hygiene factors. Then the higher order needs, according to Hesberg, they are motivators. Now, then what shall we do? What shall we do in order to make people work? Can we provide something interesting in the job itself? Can we provide skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, autonomy, and feedback? If we can provide these things, people will automatically, they'll be motivated. Skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback, if we can provide. The motivating potential score is average of skill variety, task identity, task significance into autonomy and feedback. So if we can do that, people will be motivated. The other things. Now, then we are getting into the other theory. Acquired needs. There are certain needs that we acquire. There are three needs, according to David McLelland: need for affiliation, need for power, and need for achievement. Acquired needs. That there are three needs: achievement, affiliation, power. Need for achievement. A basic human need that concerns issue of excellence, competition, challenging goals, persistence, and overcoming difficulties. Can we improve it? Yes, we can. We can improve. There were some experiments conducted. Some of you might be knowing that place. It's called Kakinada. David McLelland has conducted experiments, and he proved that you can make people to get into this achievement needs. The need for power, basic human need to make an impact on others, influence others, challenge people or events, and make a difference in life. That is called need for power. Then we have got need for affiliation, basic human needs to establish and maintain warm, close, intimate relationship with other people. Now, achievers, they prefer personal responsibility, feedback, and moderate risk. So what people they do, all of us have got different proportions of these needs. If organization has to excel, we have to create achievement need. At the same time, we need to understand what kind of need really. Excuse me, from BROU, I think it has to be muted. I think sounds are coming. Ramakrishna or some Radhakrishna. I think this side can be, if we can mute it, will be because sound is coming. So we can improve these needs. Then the next need that we talk about, it is ERG. Clayton Aldelfer, he told about ERG need. There are three groups of core needs: existence, related, and growth. Existence needs, they talk about provision of material requirements. Related need, desire for relationship. Growth needs, they talk about desire for personal development. The essence of this theory is you can have at the same time more than one need. I think here again, I'm going to show you a picture. Frustration, regression, satisfaction, progression. Anyone from BRAO, you said? Hello? Radhakrishna? Now, this model says you move from existence needs to relating needs to growth needs. That is called satisfaction progression. But sometimes it so happens when you move from existence to related needs, and when those needs are not satisfied, you come back to existence. This is quite contrary to our Maslow's need hierarchy. Now, based on this series, we can put into this chart Maslow's need. He said five needs. There's a hierarchy we need to follow. ERG talks about three needs, and unmet needs can be at any level. Um, there could be unmet need at any level. You can have simultaneously. Then Hesberg said there are two needs. He called them motivators, satisfiers, hygienic needs, and hygiene needs and motivators. So what you need to do, you have to have maintenance factors should be there. At the same time, you have to provide motivators. But if you don't provide hygiene factors, I think people will be agitated. What McLeland says is needs they are classified into three categories. Motivating needs can be developed through, you can develop achievement motivation and other things through experience. That is what he's trying to convey. Then we talk about theory X and theory Y. Theory X is a traditional weak hands. Here, Douglas McGregor has propounded theory X. What's happening in BR, AOU? Hello, Radhakrishna or someone? BRAOU? Can you mute? Because some sounds are coming. Theory X, it is a traditional type of thinking. That's what they're saying. It's an average human being has an inherent dislike for work. He tries to avoid it. And therefore, they need to be controlled, threatened, then only they will work. Then average human prefers to be directed, wishes to avoid responsibility. They have little ambition, and they believe that intelligence is not distributed among all the people equally. These are some of the thinking people had, but what he propounds is there is something called theory Y. You need to integrate individual goals and organization goals. Do not be under the impression that the expenditure of physical and mental effort in work are as natural as play. External control and threat are not only the means for bringing effort toward organizational objectives. The main thing is what you need is commitment people. Once people they are committed to the goals of the organization, I think they will give their better than best. And average human beings under proper conditions not only accept but also seeks responsibility, the capacity to exercise a relatively high degree of imagination, ingenuity, creativity, the solution of organization problems is distributed among all the people. Nowadays, what is happening? Our abilities are not properly used. That is what he's trying to convey through theory X. Theory Y says a human being has to be coaxed, has to be controlled, has to be threatened, then only they will work. Whereas theory Y says, no, it's not like that. Hello? Hello, Radhakrishna. Can we mute? Can you mute from your side? Lot of sounds were.
I muted it, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you, thank you. So, what it says, you have to make people commit to the objectives of the organization. See, I commit to the objectives of the organization when I value them, when they're attractive to me. Then, once I value them, once I think they are worthy, then I give my, you can say, with my heart and soul, I'll have that kind of commitment. That is what theory Y says. Now we are going to quickly say the process theories. Process theories talks about equity theory, Room's expectancy theory of motivation. Equity theory says individuals, they compare their what they are giving to the organization, what they are getting from the organization, or between inputs and output, they try to compare. I'm going to show you. Uh, these are the inputs: time, past performance, ability, and skill. Then output: pay, bonus, fringe benefits, time off with pay, challenge, and security. If there is a parity, they will work. They compare in the same organization, or they compare themselves with friends who are working outside the organization, and they try to seek parity. And that is what people, they say, motivates them to work or not motivates them to work. Okay. Then I'm going to take you to expectancy theory. Expectancy theory, I'll show you one picture. Now, there are three things according to this theory. Expectancy is a belief that a particular level of effort will lead to a particular level of performance. You have a belief that if I put, I'll get this kind of performance. Valence is the value that I am giving to the reward. Promotion. Do I value promotion? That is called valence. If you value, that is called you are giving value, that's valence. Instrumentality. Do you believe that my hard work will result in the desired outcome? That is called instrumentality. According to this theory, motivation is the multiplication effect of expectancy into instrumentality into valence. I think this is the that particular theory. Then I'll take you to Lawler and Porter's theory. Now, this is a very important contribution. Always we are told that a satisfied worker performs well. If you are satisfied, you'll perform well. But you just say effort. This theory talks about effort will result in performance. Performance will result in satisfaction. It is not a satisfied worker performs well, but a worker who performs well, he'll be satisfied. He performs well when he puts efforts. And when will you put effort? When you value the reward, when there is a pursued effort reward probability. Then when these two things are there, you try to put efforts. Now, you may put efforts. To put efforts, you need to have abilities and traits and a clarity regarding your role perception. Once you have, that results in the performance. Once you perform, then the type of satisfaction, we talk about intrinsic satisfaction, extrinsic satisfaction. Now, if you are satisfied with the reward that you are getting, then again you will put efforts. Otherwise, you will not put efforts. So these are the theories that are put forward before you in order to understand people and motivate them. Now, you have to take clue from all these theories as a manager. Based on that, you have to understand the profile of the people who are working with you. Remember, different strokes to different folks. You have to take into consideration their profile. Then you have to apply the clues from these theories. That is how you can create an enabling environment. And by creating an environment, you are making them to motivate themselves to perform in your organization. That's all from my side. It's a very, very brief lesson on motivation. Thank you so much. I think it's 12:02. I've exceeded my time. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Right,
thank you,
right.
sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I think, listen, a little material was sent to, I think, Deepa Keshavan. All
Yes, sir.
those who are interested, you can get from her.
Yes,
Okay?
sir. All those
Thank you.
notes will be very useful for the exam, sir.
Okay,
I've
okay.
completed my assignments.
Okay, okay. Right, right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.